On the morning of September 22, 1914, three Royal Navy cruisers hovered a few miles off the coast of the Netherlands. The captains of these vessels were aware of the presence of U-boats, yet their pride in the dominance of the world's most esteemed naval force blinded them to the potential threat. Submarines were still considered experimental and unreliable at the time, overshadowed by the might of dreadnoughts. Their slow pace, limited range, technical malfunctions, and frequent need to surface made them seem vulnerable. However, at 6 a.m., the situation took a dramatic turn. SMU-9, a modest 500-ton submarine commanded by Kapitän-Leutnant Otto Weddigen, armed with 6 torpedoes, strategically targeted the cruisers. Despite the lookouts and manned guns on the ships, Weddigen positioned U-9 in their blind spot. In just 90 minutes, the U-boat posed a significant challenge to centuries-old naval traditions and pride, marking a shift in naval warfare into the new century. As World War I commenced on July 28, 1914, the British Royal Navy and the German Imperial Navy, centered around their dreadnought and super-dreadnought battleships, dominated the global naval scene. The race to construct more dreadnoughts fueled tensions between the two powers. Initially, the Royal Navy boasted 74 submarines, while the Imperial Navy had 20 U-boats, but both navies underestimated the potential of these submarines. The dismissive attitude was particularly prevalent in the Royal Navy, deeply rooted in a tradition that emphasized massive surface vessels. The concept of a compact, submerged vessel delivering devastating blows to these behemoths seemed absurd, challenging the traditional understanding of naval warfare. SMU-9, the lead vessel of its U-9 class, commissioned in April 1910, represented the emergence of submarines as formidable warships. With a pressurized hull allowing it to dive beneath the waves, U-9 had a length of 188 ft3 in, providing accommodation for 4 officers and 31 enlisted men. Powered by paraffin engines emitting smoke and sparks on the surface, it reached a speed of 14 knots, slowing to 8 knots when submerged. Armed with 4 20-inch torpedo tubes and 6 torpedoes, U-9 showcased its capabilities by reloading torpedo tubes while submerged, a groundbreaking feat in naval history. Under the command of Kapitän-Leutnant Otto Weddigen, U-9 ventured into the English Channel, demonstrating the imminent threat posed by German submarines. In the initial month of the war, German U-boats struggled to make a significant impact, causing minimal damage. However, the game changed on September 5th, when U-boat SMU-21 successfully sank HMS Pathfinder using a self-propelled torpedo. This success fueled Captain Weddigen's determination to be the next in line. By mid-September, the submarine patrolled near the Dutch coast, actively searching for potential targets. Concurrently, 3 Royal Navy Cressy-class armoured cruisers patrolled the North Sea between England and the Netherlands to prevent German entry into the English Channel from the east. Despite being only 14 years into service, these cruisers, including HMS Cressy, HMS Aboukir, and HMS Hogue, were considered outdated and their machinery temperamental. Manned by reserve sailors and inexperienced Naval College cadets, this vulnerability earned the squadron the nickname the Lifebait Squadron. Despite concerns raised by military figures, including Winston Churchill, Vice Admiral Sir Doveton Sturdy insisted that the Lifebait Squadron remain in active service until the launch of more modern Arethusa-class cruisers. On September 22, 1914, the cruisers sailed without zigzagging, believing the seas to be too rough for submarines. This proved to be a fatal miscalculation. Kapitän-Leutnant Otto Weddigen seized the opportunity when he spotted the cruisers sailing almost 2 miles apart. Striking at 6:30 a.m., U-9's torpedo hit Aboukir, causing initial confusion. As the ships attempted rescue missions, Weddigen fired torpedoes again, sinking Aboukir. Hogue, attempting to pick up survivors, was targeted next, followed by Cressy. Despite an attempt by Cressy to ram U-9, Weddigen successfully fired his last torpedo, sinking all 3 cruisers. The sinking occurred without the watertight doors sealed, leading to all 3 ships being submerged by 7:55 am. Dutch and English vessels arrived for rescue operations, unaware of the submarine threat. Weddigen, anticipating the Royal Navy's response, quietly submerged U-9 and returned home. In his memoir, Weddigen described the sinking, noting that the ships floated until the air got out from under them, and then they sank with a loud sound as if from a creature in pain. Awakening call. The news of a single U-boat sinking 3 British cruisers within a mere 90 minutes left England in a state of disbelief. Some British reports suggested a squadron of 6 German U-boats cleverly disguised with Dutch colours, adding a layer of mystery to the tragedy that claimed over 400 lives. The magnitude of the loss extended beyond numbers, exposing the vulnerabilities of an overly confident navy. The calculated strike shattered the age-old dominance of battleships with massive guns, unveiling a new threat from below. This event marked a paradigm shift in naval warfare, sending a stark message to other naval powers. If the formidable British Navy could succumb to a single submarine, no fleet was impervious. Immediate adaptation became imperative. Almost overnight, U-boats transformed into significant threats to the Royal Navy, prompting the Admiralty to enact changes. Older cruisers were withdrawn from patrol duties, and the actions of the 3 Royal Navy captains were scrutinized for allegedly neglecting adequate anti-submarine measures. Blame was directed at Captain Drummond for not zigzagging, and the other captains for stopping to assist. Some admirals, caught in waters filled with drowning men, faced what seemed like an impossible situation. In response, Royal Navy armoured ships were ordered to zigzag, maintain a minimum speed of 13 knots, and never stop in waters where enemy submarines might lurk. Commander Dudley Pound, a future First Sea Lord, acknowledged in his September 24 journal entry that the loss served as a useful warning, preventing the underestimation of German submarines. In Germany, the mood was jubilant and the story was no secret. SMS U-9's engagement and sinking of 3 armoured cruisers in just over an hour, a feat previously deemed impossible, made Kapitän-Leutnant Weddigen and his crew national heroes. Otto Weddigen, celebrated as the most accomplished submarine captain of the time, received the Iron Cross, First Class, from the Kaiser, while each crew member was awarded the Iron Cross, Second Class. 3 weeks later, on October 15, 1914, U-9, still under Weddigen's command, sank another cruiser, HMS Hawke. This success led to Captain Weddigen receiving the military's top award, the Pour le Mérite. However, tragedy struck on March 18, 1915, when the battleship HMS Dreadnought rammed U-29 in Pentland Firth, resulting in the loss of Otto Weddigen and his crew. As for U-9, it operated in open waters for just over a year before being assigned to training duties in 1916. During its tenure, it sank a total of 13 ships, amounting to over 26,000 tons, showcasing the dominance of submarine warfare. Germany constructed approximately 360 U-boats during World War I, with credited sinkings exceeding 5,000 ships, totaling 13 million tons. The unrestricted German submarine warfare campaign, especially in 1917, severely disrupted Allied shipping lanes, influencing the United States to enter the war on the side of the Allies. Of the U-boats built, 178 were lost due to various reasons, including combat, mines, mechanical failures, and accidents. The November 1918 armistice concluded World War I, leading to the scuttling of most of the old Imperial German Navy. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 further restricted Germany's surface navy. In the ensuing years, Germany's new navy, the Kriegsmarine, built the largest submarine fleet entering World War II, playing a pivotal role in the Battle of the Atlantic. Winston Churchill, who witnessed the devastating impact of submarine warfare, expressed his deep concern, stating, "The only thing that really frightened me during the war was the U-boat peril. Thank you for watching."